outside, but I realized it's always that way in New York when you go outside. Like, I remember feeling like I had to put on so many things, even during the summer. Like, think about it, because it's not like Vegas where you literally, like, throw on some flip-flops and run out the door. It's like you have to throw on your tennis shoes, your socks, you better get a hat, you better get sunglasses, you better have a light jacket, you better maybe even have a pair of light pants in case it gets cold, you better bring a backpack because you're probably going to have to get some food and water on the way home. You better get a reusable bag to make sure you have that because you're going to be walking a while. You better make sure you have money. You better make sure you have your phone. You better make sure you have your debit card. And make sure you have money too because often your phone won't work on the subway. So then you'll be stuck down there. And if you just have a phone but your Apple Pay isn't working, then you can't get on the subway if you don't have cash. And then there's no ATM down in the subway. So you have to jump the subway before you thought that was a good idea, and you're all scared, and you ask the MTI guy because the train was coming, and you're like, do you think I could just go over the railing? He's like, I don't give a fuck. And then, and I was like, oh, okay, that's what I finally really wasn't that big a deal, but I was so terrified that I was going to get arrested, which later I almost did, but that took a long time, and I had to do it in front of 10 cops. To almost get arrested, and then but every single thing was like I remember thinking like, because I would even sometimes run out with just not as much stuff to take the trash out, but usually I'd regret it because like even if flip flops are out of the question, but if I wore like those things, you'd be like, man, this trash can is a lot further of a walk than I realized it was gonna be, and my feet are hurting. I should have wore my what do you call them, sneakers. But in Vegas, I always went out in like flip-flops, you know? It's just different. It's like everything. Oh, and good God. Oh, you know what also tortured us in the beginning that we forget at the Candlewood? Was when their elevator was broken. And we would have to spend 30 minutes in the lobby every time. So you'd be like, do I really want to go downstairs and be stuck in the lobby for 30 minutes waiting for That's what got us depressed. We stopped leaving because we were on the 32nd floor and they had one elevator that they used for everything. They didn't even have a service elevator. So we were like, you'd literally sometimes wait in the lobby for a half hour. And so every time you had to think about going downstairs, you'd be like, oh man, and then you'd be packed in like sardines with, let me mention, most of the hotel was filled with homeless people, which I normally don't have an issue with, but a lot of the homeless people that actually get places become very large, apparently. They just eat in their rooms. So that was some of the largest people in the smallest elevator trying to cram in, and everybody had baby strollers too on top of it. Trying to cram in 9 baby strollers in the smallest elevator. And it was the weirdest experience. And so just the thought of going outside became so daunting. And even before that, at all of them, at Brandon's, the doorman would be like, oh, back outside again, huh? When you like, I used to go to the store in and out in Vegas. I take out the trash out 9 times a day in Vegas. Here they go, going outside again. Oh, going outside again. I'm like, good thing I wasn't doing anything illegal. Well, I guess we kind of were, but not back then. But then, get this. Then we go to the off Soho. Holy shit, are those guys up your ass every time you're going in and out the door and ragging on me about my Topo Chicos? Oh man, everybody got on my case about Topo Chicos. It's like it nonstop, and then they got on me about my my trash because at one time we had because their fridge didn't work and I rotted on my meat, and then you smell like fish up here. Yeah, because your fridge didn't work and rotted on my meat, and then we tell them the fridge didn't work and they did not fix it. They came up and did not fix it, and then we come back a second time and they think we want the same damn room with the same broken fridge. Remember that shit? You have the same room with the same broken fridge you hadn't fixed. I don't want that same room with the same broken fridge. And then we go to that girl's place, and they bitch at us for smoking weed. They were a bunch of dumbballs. They didn't want me to stay in that place. Because we tried to bake weed there. Because we said, fuck it, we were baking weed there. We made the syringes there. And then we were thinking we were going to stay there a minute because it was cheap. And then they bitched about us smoking a little bit of weed. And so we hadn't even done the baking yet. We did that at the end. We said, fuck them. We were just smoking some weed. And Richard thought he could sit in the garden and smoke weed. And then they got bitches there. So then we're like, fuck it then, we're going to leave. And she realized she shot herself in the foot because no one else was ever going to rent that unit. Remember that shit? And then when my mail came, she steals my sponges. I was like, no, but she didn't just steal them. She was going to steal them, and then she felt bad, which I didn't care if she stole my sponges. But then she decided just to take one. Which was only weird in the sense of that someone literally opened your mail. You know what I mean? I didn't mind about having her take a sponge, but didn't mean she opened my mail. It's one thing illegal to open someone else's mail. You know what I mean? But I think she thought she was going to find, something different. And all she found was sponges. She probably opened them thinking something was in the sponges. Thinking we were doing something illegal. She was shocked to find that it was literally just sponges. It was like the package from Amazon that was literally like $5 in sponges. I would order things that sometimes were like $2 that they ship in Amazon, it's like crazy. But anyway, so then we go, where we go to after that? God. Probably back to the candle one.
Let's pull out the
And then at some point we did find this real great place, we think, the Stewart. Oh wow, what a big space. We never had so much space. So much fun. But we really were always irritated with the building. One thing, you could not get your packages ever. They were just straight up stealing people's packages. We didn't realize. We were just like, what is going on here? We couldn't fathom they'd steal our package back then. But remember when Delroy come up and tried to do his explanation about Amazon and the packages? I'm like, you are so out of the fucking loop of reality, dude. That is not how Amazon works. He tried to say that Amazon will say it was delivered, but it wasn't actually delivered.
Who's Delroy? They don't know who Delroy is.
Delroy Ferguson is apparently the highest ranking person at this hotel, which all he is the director of housekeeping. That's what they put in charge. They pick the dumbest retards. They have him be the fall guy when the whole shit hits the fan. We're not the general managers. They bowed out because that place is just a complete fraud. It's just fraud. I mean, I don't think they do anything legitimately there. They just, from the minute you come in there, they just start ripping you off. And somewhere now, and they're kind of bummed now. Well, actually, you know why they set up the payment on bookings? So that they can hopefully double charge every single person. Used to be that you did only a little part on bookings, and you paid mostly in person. Then they started doing full payment on bookings. And I thought, oh, that's nice. Then the steward won't be involved. Now what they do is you come in and then they accidentally double charge you, and they hope half the people won't notice. But they've actually received both those payments already. You know what I mean? They got the bookings payment, and they're doing the double charge. And then they're hoping the majority of the hotel people are never going to notice. Or if they do, they'll do that little game they do, like, having it disappear and then come back. Bullshit. Like they do with the deposits. They are a shit show. Edward McCarthy and Darrell Ferguson are the two main culprits of that scheme. But there's a lot of people involved. I think everyone there is shady as shit. I remember the first time thinking, it's just... One thing, it seemed like a lot of mafia guys. I remember I thought, what those guys, I felt like the bellman guys were like mafia guys the first time around. Because you remember the first time there was like this real tall, kind of good looking bell guy that you're like, what are they? And there was like 6 of them. And there's only like 10 guests. So you're like, how many fucking bellmen do you need? But then if you actually need something, they're gone. You ever notice that? Have you ever gone there and requested a bellman? Oh, good God. It'll take 10 years to actually get one if you called for a bellman. But there's always 9 of them standing there until you need one. It's like as soon as they hear that bell ding, they're gone. I'm not kidding. They hit the bell saying the bellman's needed, and then you never see them. I waited one time 30 minutes. Because this is before I decided to start bringing my suitcase down to get the Amazon orders. Because they were going to have me have a bellman help me bring up my Amazon order. So I said, fuck that noise. So from then on, I would unload my suitcase, bring down my suitcase. Remember, I'd bring my purple suitcase, load it all up with the Topo Chicos because they were heavy as shit. Remember back when we were getting the Topo Chicos? And roll my suitcase back up. Oh, and of course, their fucking escalator that's always going the wrong direction that you want it to. That makes no sense to me. So they have an escalator in the front. All they have is an escalator and steps in the front. So in the front, there's no handicap. Wait, you gotta go all the way to the other entrance, and then that's just a nightmare over there. But most of the people all enter from this first entrance that has no sort of handicap, no elevator, and no easy way to get your luggage up unless the escalator might be going in the right direction. But their escalator goes up and down just according to how they feel like having it go. Probably when they just want to fuck with people and laugh. Because it never fails. When you want it to go up, it's not going up. And when you want it to go down, it's not going down. And it's the opposite. And the worst is when you want it to go up, when you just came in, you got to lug your fucking heavy suitcase up the stairs, and then you're making so much noise because like wood floor, and everybody clunk, 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 clunk. I think they just get a kick out of it, and watching all the guests suffer when they couldn't just push the button to make the escalator go up. Have you noticed that when the escalator's going the wrong way, or it's just not going at all? Sometimes it's just not moving at all. But really, what it should always be going is up. People can walk downstairs, but when your guests are coming with all their luggage, they want the escalator to be going up. You can walk down the stairs. You don't really need the escalator to go down. You see what I mean? You can get your luggage down the stairs. But they always have it going down when most of their guests are needing it to go up. And I'm like, this place is just, I swear they just like fucking with people, and now I realize they actually do. Because I remember being like, why would they have it going down? It'd be so much more convenient to be going up when people are coming into stairs into a hotel. To be like, oh, let me take the escalator when I have all my luggage. And if you don't want to do that way, your only other option is to get a bellman. That's their scam. I forgot. If you want to use the elevator, only the bellman is allowed to run the elevator over there. So, and he will insist he takes all of your luggage, and then you have to then tip him. And if you don't tip him, he'll add it to your bill as a baggage handling fee, apparently, which we didn't know they did that. So I one time said, well, can I take the elevator? Oh, no, you can't. Only the bellmen are allowed to use the elevator. Bellmen and handicaps. So if you want your luggage, if you don't want to drag your luggage up the stairs when they have it going down and they're hoping you use the bellman, then you have to use the bellman to get your luggage up to the hotel.